Hey, what's up? It's DJ Mac, and just here to help you guys out. For those of you who pretty much just want to download music, you got all these songs in your downloads folder. It looks messy, and you just want to just put them in the right genre and the right folders, and just start DJing. Right? We all want to do this, but I found a really good solution that will help pretty much any DJ using any software of your choice. But in this case, I'm using this one software. It's called Hazel, and basically, it's automated to the point where you literally just can just download anything into your downloads folder, and it will put it in the right place, depending on pretty much like the prompts that you give it. But I promise you, it's pretty much it's pretty easy to use. All right, so all you gotta do is go to your uh, folder here, the downloads folder. And this part is very important for music, is that you want to right click and you're going to go to get info, okay? And you're going to go to where it says musical genre right here. And in this case, it's R&B, it's an R&B track. A lot of these tracks are R&B tracks, but just imagine that you sat there and downloaded a whole bunch of R&B tracks and maybe some hip hop tracks. But the main important thing is that you get a um, record pool that has a whole bunch of metadata that actually has musical genre in it. So if you got musical genre in it, you're good. So in this case, I was just using either Beat Source or BPM Supreme. I highly suggest do not, if you're gonna do this, do not use DJ City. They do not tag their musical genre inside of their metadata for their media files. So their music files do not have the musical genre inside of it, and it doesn't even have the. I don't think even have the sample rate, but definitely doesn't have the musical genre. So it'll be very tough if you use that platform. So I highly suggest BPM Supreme or Beat Source. But yeah, DJ City does not have a tagging system for musical genre, so it will not work in that case. Anyways, so you want to go down to musical genre, copy the R&B the way exactly that's written, okay, and then you're gonna go over to Hazel, and Hazel is where all the magic happens. So first, you're gonna choose or add a folder, and I already did that. You can always click add folder and then just go to your downloads folder, hit open, and then it'll pop up here. And then the next thing you do is you're gonna add a rule and just hit the little new rule button. And then now you're going to type in R&B music for the title of this rule section here. And then what I do is I kind of uncheck this new rule right here, because if it's checked and I hit, I start to put some rules in, it's going to take effect immediately. Sometimes I don't want that, okay, depending on what's going on. But yeah, after that, you want to read this very carefully. It says if all, which you can select all, if all of the following conditions are met, the name, which is the name of the file, is blank, right? But in this case, we're not going to do name, we're going to do musical genre. In order to find that, you're going to click on other, because sometimes in the beginning when you first get it, you won't see musical genre. So you got to go to other and then type in, or you can type in genre, and then make sure you click musical genre, not genre, but musical genre. So you click it and then hit done. So next time when you click on name, it'll be musical genre all the way at the bottom, and then is, and then again paste R&B, and that's the only rule we're gonna have. And then the next part is do the following to the match file or folder. So it's going to find the file, which is any R&B track, right, that is labeled under music genre in the metadata inside of the downloads folder. So any of the songs that you have in the downloads folder that is of a music genre of R&B is going to be moved. Those songs are going to be moved over to any folder that you want. And in this case, I'm going to put it inside my all music, all DJ music folder. And then I'm going to hit create or new folder, create a new folder, and just hit R&B, and then hit open. And then now all my music that's labeled music genre R&B is going to be moved to, you guessed it, the R&B folder. I hit save, and then now where it says R&B music, I hit the plus button, and now when I go back to that folder, my cluttered folder of my downloads, all these songs that have the metadata of R&B is going to be put into my R&B folder right here. Not my R&B country, but my R&B. I'm going to open that, and you're going to start to see it populate. So all these songs here are soon going to be in here. And you can also notice too that some of the songs will say dirty or whatever. Boom. Just like that. All those songs that are labeled R&B are inside here. Right? Easy. So what's also cool about this, okay, is that I only had to do this once. So next time I download another R&B track to my downloads folder, it's gonna immediately download right to there. Or let's say I download a whole bunch. Here's like the real like dope part of this. Yes, you can always download something to a folder and then that's it. But in this case, I can go nuts and just download any type of genre, and it will filter on its own. So I don't have to like, you know, go back and be like, oh, I want to this folder. Go back, I want to this folder. I could just download whatever genre, and as long as I make the rules for it, for instance, I already made some other rules for my pop music, top 40 music, Latin pop, R&B, country, hip hop, Afrobeat, and a piano. I can keep going depending on what genre that I want. But yeah, it will automatically filter and send it to them and send it to those folders. Easy, right? You just give it a rule. You start with a initial starting point, and then you give it a rule, and then it will send it off to that folder. Easy. And like I said, you saw some of these tracks like they had, you know, dirty version, clean version. Well, easy fix on that. I could add another rule. If I go to my R&B tracks, and then I hit the little plus button there, and then you can put name is or contains clean, and if I hit that, it'll put that in clean, right? But then I can change the name of this folder and say I want it to go to R&B clean or R&B dirty, right? I can even create subfolders for it, but yeah, it's as easy as that, and that's it. You can just click and drag those tracks into your Serato that I have here. So let's say I want to drag all my R&B stuff, leave my pop stuff here, drag them directly in. The songs are in, boom, already analyzed. But yeah, you can do that. Now, I know some of you are going to say, hey, Serato has auto import. Yes, it does. But the issue on that is that when you do the auto import, the problem is that it creates it sends your all these songs that you have living in the all DJ music, it sends it to an import folder, and now it moves your files to the import folder, which is kind of like counterintuitive. Doesn't make any sense why they would do something like that. I feel that they were very close, but then the fact that they're putting it in a separate your music in a separate folder makes absolutely no sense to me. I don't know why they would do that. I feel if they just corrected that, if they just said like, hey, just drop whatever folder and then it'll be inside Serato, and then it puts it back to where those folders were originally at, then you'd be good. But I don't know. Hopefully Serato sees this and they're just like, hey, we should really just not mess with the order of people's files, especially if they worked hard at organizing it and then you're kind of messing with it. I don't know. Maybe you can just take the folders and put it back to where they were, but I just feel that they shouldn't be moved after you import them. But you can do it that way. Also, but I use DJ Pro, and it's the same thing. I could just drag and drop and put them in there, and yeah. But anytime you're adding new music, it's it's automatically gonna filter right to those folders, and with new music, you just click on the date and then just drag the new files into your Serato crate or your DJ playlist. And that's pretty much it. Like it's really not that hard to use. Like I said, they do have one for PC or Windows. It's called Drop It. Um, Pretty much works the same way. The cool thing about that though is it's free, so that's dope. Hazel is not free. Hazel, I paid about $41 for it, but definitely worth it because now when I download music, which I don't really do anymore, but because I do a lot of streaming, but obviously if I needed to have just downloaded music, it's not really a pain for me anymore because now I could just download whatever songs I want, as long as I make sure I have the right genre. Okay, the genre is like super important because we do a lot of stuff by genre. Um, so what makes it easy is that you want to make sure that the metadata has the right things that you want to associate your crates to, or even the wording of the file. That helps too. But those are the real like main things you want to focus on when you're organizing your files with this. But it's pretty easy. Like, and again, saves so much time. But if you have any questions, let me know. It's super easy to download. I downloaded it, and you just download the license key, and then that's pretty much it. Like, not much else than that, to be honest. Um, but yeah, I've seen many people have different ways of organizing music. This has got to be the easiest way in terms of downloading music, um, you know, and just having it like in an actual folder that you know where everything's going without having to drag anything. So, but yeah, I know this with along with another software. I think it's Crate Hackers. So I think combined with Crate Hackers and this, it would be like a godsend. So, all right, y'all. Peace. Enjoy. I gotta start my day. Peace.